What's up?
What's up?
We did it.
It's our first podcast, bro.
It's our first episode of 11 episodes. It's we have done so many test runs of this, but we're here now. We're gonna do it. We're doing it for real. There's no turning back.
I can't believe it.
Wow, man, we did it. We've gotten this close, and now we just got to do all of the rest of it.
Welcome to No Homo.
This is No Homo. This is No Homo. This is the No Homo podcast with Jonathan and Tom. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Tom.
What is this? What are we doing here? Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I can. This is two best friends, one straight and one gay, riffing on their daily lives, the insanity of current events, and what it means to be a man, gassing each other up while the world burns.
I tell you what, I think the thing that has gotten best through all of this work, through all this workshopping, is your reading of the log line. Honestly, it's moving for me every week now. I want you to read it, even if we get to the point that it's like recorded. I want you to read it live every week because it makes me feel so good, and we've done it so many times at this point.
Do you like seeing my eyes go to the side and come back? So subtle.
It is. I don't even notice it. You've turned into such a pro with this.
Welcome to episode 101, our first episode.
Episode 101, our first episode that we're going to put out for everyone. We have 10 in the bank. We have 10, not that we're going to air probably ever. We're just 10 episodes to workshop it, to figure it out, to try to get our messaging, our branding.
Yeah. Those 10 episodes are in the vault. That's like paywall.
In the vault, yeah.
You have to pay to see those, and there's some good stuff in those.
That's true. Those will be behind the paywall. We'll get there.
Dude, we have been working on this since December. We've been recording episodes since December. It's now June 23rd. We have been preparing this podcast longer than Kamala Harris ran for president. That's how long we've been working on this.
That's true. The workshop of this podcast has already lasted longer than the Harris presidential campaign did.
That's right.
Certainly longer than the workshop of that campaign did.
Certainly longer. Yeah. I'm proud of us, though, man.
Yeah. Here we are. We're doing it. I don't know how many times I can say here we are. We're doing it before we actually say anything that matters, but I'm just going to keep saying it. Here we are. We're doing it.
That's all the podcast is. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Bro, this is the hottest you've ever looked, though. Like, how did you time that for our first podcast?
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret, even though I'll just choose to believe you. That's so nice of you to say. Thank you so much. It warms my heart. But I will say that I am wearing a little makeup for the first run. I couldn't help it. I got a little Hollywood. I have like a massive pimple that came up. Yeah,
I see it.
And I put on some foundation, and it's not even like it just looks like a crusty pimple instead of I don't know, whatever.
Is it foundation you want to hawk? Like, do you need to
hawk
any
No, it's not
wares?
working. I'm not going to. No, it's not. No. Which is a brilliant organic segue into what we're doing here, because it's not unusual for me to be found online hawking
wares. No,
makeup
you love to hawk
and hair
wares.
Supplies and nail polish. I love it. I love to hawk wares.
It is a good segue. What is this podcast? What are we doing on
What are we
the
doing
air?
here? What are we doing here? This is No Homo. This is Jonathan and Tom, two best friends. You've already read the log line. Here's what I think it came down to for us. We've rehearsed this part so many times, but the truth of it is, the bottom line is, the world is crazy. I have a social media presence, and I have not really been able to figure out what to do with it other than hawk wares. I try to make points. I try to question gender norms. I try to encourage people to look at a broader spectrum of masculinity and what that really means. And I don't know, you're my best friend, and I like talking to you, and the chance to talk to you once a week about just the stuff that's going on. And I feel like it's great to have a teammate here for this. You know, like, I do a lot of videos that are just me talking to the camera, and I can ramble on by myself, but it's really fun to have you here to talk to about it, and it feels less like crazy. So much of the world feels like it's insane that everyone's not talking about how insane it all is. So it's a little grounding to have somebody that I care so much about who agrees that this is insane and we should talk about it.
Bro, thank you. That means so much to me.
Yeah,
Thank
of course,
you.
man. Of course.
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking for a while about doing something together.
Yeah.
We've had this title No Homo for years. We used to joke about what it could be, like some sort of reality. Yeah, like,
really, we had that. We've had that, and we just weren't sure what to do with it.
yeah. And I have always, unlike you, been someone who I don't really like the spotlight. I don't really like. I don't like to be the center of attention. And so the thought of this was scary to me and is scary to me still. And I also feel like, who am I? I don't really, who cares what I think? But I don't know. Two things kind of happened that for me solidified, like, okay, let's give this a go. The first, like you already mentioned, you have like this online presence. It's been really amazing watching it grow over the last 2 years. And I just think you use your platform for such good in the world. Thanks, and even though I don't like watch every single little thing you put out,
you don't watch them at all. Thank you.
I see what they're about, and I do likes, and like it felt like we might have an audience if we tried to do this, which was encouraging to me, not just starting from zero. And then the other thing that happened, honestly, was the election. And I feel like such a fool that I was surprised about how the election went. But I was, and disappointed and heartbroken and scared and feeling like, how could I try to be a voice, and what could I do? And this idea that maybe together we could try to make sense. And not that this podcast is just going to be about politics and current events, but I think we will talk about that stuff sometimes. And I appreciate the opportunity to make sense of it with you.
Good, man. Thank you. And I it's so funny to hear you, and I believe you, and I understand what you're saying, that you're not a spotlight guy. But one of the things I think is great about doing this podcast is that you don't have like the need for external validation that I have, but you do, like, when you're out and people are around you, people want to listen to you, man. You're a great storyteller. You're really fun. You're really magnetic. And I think that, like, if nothing else, this is an excuse. It's a way to get you a broader audience so that people can hear what you have to say. I think you're really good at relaying feelings, and I don't know how much you want to get into it, but we met, you were directing me in theater, and I think that your ability to tell stories and your ability to convey emotion and to get points across is just second to none. And so that, I think that's a big part of what I'm excited about doing here.
Is this the gassing each other up part?
Yeah. That's really all. Can we just skip to that? Can we just do an hour of now? You go. Say something about me.
Show us your muscles. You've got your T-shirt on. Tell us about the T-shirt.
I do have my T-shirt on. This is Paint Nails Punch Nazis. It is.
Go like that. More like that. Yeah.
More like
that. That's good.
Yeah, and this is also the only sponsor we have so far. That's why I wore it right away.
We have a sponsor?
We do. Paint Nails Punch Nazis. My merch shop is our sponsor.
I need my check.
Yeah.
I need my check, bro. Where's my check?
Being here right now is the check. Yeah.
I need my direct deposit. I didn't know we had sponsors.
Yeah, we have sponsors because instead of putting my kids to bed right now, I'm here doing this. So this shirt afforded us the chance for me to take one night of bedtime off to be able to do the podcast.
Fair enough.
But Paint Nails Punch Nazis. Those are the two things that I've ended up with being the kind of cornerstones of my social media presence. I paint my nails. I really do try to buck gender norms. In fact, my son earlier was painting my daughter's toenails, and he was doing a great job of it. And I was sitting there thinking, like, no matter what, across the board, like, gender norms aside, sexual preference aside, all those things aside, like, this is an awesome moment. He could learn this skill to take with him to paint his girlfriend's or wife's nails, or he might not be into women. He could paint his own nails. He could paint. He could decide to paint or not paint anyone's nails ever for the rest of his life, and it's just one more skill he has in his toolbox. And, like, why would you not want your kids to have as many skills as possible?
I agree, because you know what I don't know how to do well is paint nails.
I thought you were going to say produce a podcast, but yeah, paint nails.
Produce a podcast, well, also, but yeah, I when I've painted nails with my niece, I'm a disaster. Like
and most men are, and that becomes like a thing that you're just like, I guess I can't do that. And you're like, why would you not want to have a skill, no matter what? If you don't want to wear nail polish, if you don't want whatever, like that's your preferences, your fashion preferences are fine, but like the idea that a man is somehow less manly because they can paint nails, to me it's like that's the opposite, because it's a skill that you don't have, not really you, but the universal you, as far as men who say that, like, don't have it, that I do have. Now my son has it.
We need to circle back to this conversation, because you already know that I don't really like when my nails are painted. Yeah. I chafe at how that makes me feel. Yeah. And I might need you to help me unpack that. So
okay, we can get into
our
that.
listeners need to like and subscribe and come back for episode 102.
Teasers, love it. I love it. Cliffhangers in the first 10 minutes. I love it.
And we'll unpack that next week.
Love it. And to be fair, I think that you, in the past 6 months, I guess, you have become quite a podcast producer. This has been the most DIY-ness of all of the things that could be. And we have gone through so many different setup options. We have learned so much. We have...
So janky and jaggedy. So our listeners, our viewers, maybe they'll be viewers, need to...
Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
I hope you guys can forgive us our roughness. And bear with us as we figure out the tech of all this. But I guess I'm wondering, I want to just share some fears I have about doing this, because I feel like maybe it might help me to just say them out loud. I already said earlier that I am not someone who likes to be on camera or on stage or in front of a crowd or in a spotlight. So I'm nervous, bro. I am so nervous about what people are going to think about this, and I'm nervous about what people are going to say in the comments. And a little part of me, I mean, that goes back to like being called pork chop on my way into kindergarten when I was 5 years old. But like, so I'm also, part of me is like, fuck it, I want to do this and like push through those fears. And so that's why I'm here. And I know it's going to happen, I guess, or we'll be lucky if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, one can hope, right? Let's hope that it reaches a far enough audience that there's shit talkers in the comments.
Yeah. But I think about like friends watching this. I think about like people who used to be friends watching this. I think about like my family watching this, and what if we get into stuff about our family, which I kind of hope and suspect we will at some point. And
I mean, I think like any person should, we don't agree with everything that our parents and our family, like we have our own set of, beliefs and perspective that is not always in line with our parents or our families. And there's certainly space in this podcast for that to come up and, be a thing we have to deal with IRL. So, that's certainly one of my fears too. I don't want to jump on yours though. If you have a
No, those are my fears. I shared them all.
You sure you don't have any more? That's it? No more fears? No, you don't have to have any more.
My other fear, I mean, I guess there's a part of me that is anxious about like, could this ruin our friendship? Because you're my best friend. Yeah. So I don't want, I wouldn't want this to do that, but we've made it 6 months so far. So
I think, and honestly, like since the listener or viewer has not been along for this whole ride, it has been like a relationship builder, because we've been through, like, we haven't agreed on every step of this. We've had our moments of
for sure
miscommunicating and disagreeing, and we're still here, we're still doing it. And I think
there was that time you threw that chair at me. Like, it's been rough.
Yeah, if you take your pants off again like that, I'm gonna throw a chair at you. I told you no penises out during recording. I'm gonna throw a chair every time.
Okay, but after recording.
Yeah, sure. After recording, okay, all penises out. Yeah.
Woof.
I don't know. We're also figuring out what the parameters of our listeners will want here. I've got a lot of...
Like, what is the audience for this going to be?
I don't know. It's like I'm inviting my audience of, like, a lot of parents, a lot of, like... It's not, like, the cleanest material, but it's, like, pretty family-friendly over there, and we're just like, dicks out. Like...
I wonder if our partners will listen.
I mean, sure. Like when I specifically ask, it's one of my favorite things about my wife Jen is that she supports all of this, but not in like a super fan kind of way. Like she will go days without realizing. Like the closest people to me in my life are the least engaged with my content on the planet. You and my wife are both like, oh, I saw that you posted something. I'm like, that was 2 weeks ago, and it has 3 million views. Thank you very much. Like, maybe check in, but
including like Pink. Like Pink's seen it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's what I have to. I have to take a celebrity who maybe one of you will care about and be like, look, will you watch this one now? Look, Pink is validating me. Will you look at this, please?
All right. Well, what are your fears about this podcast?
I think that just to kind of like balance out yours, I don't have exactly those same fears because I spent a long time as an actor, so I spent a long time getting rejected for a lot of roles, a lot of things, a lot of there is a thicker skin that comes with that, I think, over time, and also I've been doing content creation for a couple of years, and there's a thicker skin, I guess, that comes with that. I mean, I have assholes in the comments plenty of the time, and they get a little. I can feel my fight or flight kick in. I can feel that trigger come up, and then I just have to remember, like, who cares? Like, I don't even, not even enough to like insult that person. Just who gives a shit? Whatever. It's just like, I don't know. Usually, I'm like, it's a bot or it's somebody else somewhere in the world that doesn't matter at all. But I do think I believe in this, so my biggest fear is like just that it doesn't work and doesn't do anything. Like, I think that we could get people to listen. I think if people were listening, like, I don't have the smartest things to say. I learn a lot from you. I have opinions. They're not always overly educated, but I think that our relationship being out there for people to see could make a difference. And I guess my fear is I would rather people be mad about that than people not give a shit or like it not be interesting enough for people to care about. I think that's and that still happens with content too. I still sometimes freeze up overthinking, like, is this valuable as far as time? Like, is someone going to watch this? Is it going to work? Or am I going to have to put something out there that is my own, of myself, and watch it and watch the world not care about it? It's the other side of the coin when people do care a little bit, when you can get that dopamine rush of having a lot of people pay attention, and then like when it's crickets for something, it's like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you love your dopamine. I know you do.
Who doesn't?
Speaking of dopamine, what did you think about episode 4 of your favorite TV show, And Just Like That?
I'm so glad that that over the past 10 weeks or 10 test runs, we have decided this is a real segment that gets space in the pod.
That we're starting on episode 4 on.
Well,
it's kind of like the original Star Wars. You know how the original Star Wars
yes.
started on episode 4?
All right, let's get caught up on And Just Like That really quickly. I'm going to assume that most of our listeners, if you've gotten this far in hearing the two of us talk, you probably know what this show is. The Venn diagram seems like you probably have you're paying attention a little bit to And Just Like That, but it is the third season, fourth season, third season. Fourth season? Third season.
Fourth episode, third season.
Yes. Fourth episode, third season of the Sex and the City reboot, And Just Like That, where they, whatever, it's following the same women. And we both started watching the show, and it is, it's such, it's a bonkers show. I'm just so surprised every week.
I think it's important that people understand that you never really watched the original.
That's true. I never watched the original.
You're coming to this.
But the thing is, and the thing that I want to make very clear, and that I make clear to everyone, is that I didn't come to it thinking like the original isn't worth anything. I came to it understanding the original's place in the zeitgeist. It's an important show. It was empowering to women. It was like sex positive. It was all these like it had all of these things going at the time that were needed. And it might have been a little cheesy sometimes, and it might have been like a silly show sometimes, but it also like gave like society a version to look at and go like, oh, this is okay. You can be successful and not have kids. You can have an active sex life. You can whatever. Friend groups are important. All these kind of things that would come up from the original.
Sure.
And I understand that it was important, and I understand that whatever, a lot of people cared about it. And so I came into it with that, but I don't want to sound like I came into it thinking like that dumb lady show, and now I'm like, well, that's just a dumb lady show. It's not like that at all. It's like I respect it, and I wanted it to be good. I wanted to come into the reboot of this movement, this thing that did a societal shift, and I was excited to be a part of it the second time around, and now we're here.
Now we're here. All right, let's dive into episode 4.
Okay.
How did it make you feel inside when Carrie was fishing and she said the words and just like that, I'm fishing? Like, did you get a little? Did you get a little?
Did I get a little what?
Did you get a little excited the way they would just work that title in there?
I thought I was going to throw something at my TV, but like, yeah, I did love extra points for working in the title in the middle of the episode, not at the end. Definitely great. Her fishing, so she's fishing because she's supposed to be spending time with
the
her
kids.
Boyfriend's kids.
Yep.
And she is not happy about doing that, but she will do it because Aiden wants her to, because it's important to, because Wyatt's having some trouble acclimating to her being around. Because if we want to go back for 1 second, Aiden invited her to come over and then got to his farm in the middle of wherever the fuck and was like, by the way, my sons don't know you're coming, so can you sleep over there tonight?
He's being extra, yeah.
So extra.
Yeah.
And then the first meeting of them is they're painting the window outside of her bedroom like that. Aiden, this father, was like, hey boys, all right, we got chores today. Those chores are going to be paint the guest house. It's a surprise, but go ahead and just do that. Like, what? So she's fishing with the sons, trying to bond, I guess. And yeah,
is it wrong to say that the 2 older sons are kind of hot? Am I allowed to say that?
I think you can say that. Actually, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I just said it. It's out there.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go with it. Great. We're gonna go with it. It's been said. So yeah, I think we can acknowledge that they are strapping young men.
Okay. Good. I thought so. Wyatt's a mess, though.
Wyatt is a mess. Wyatt is a mess. He needs his Adderall. I don't know what
and
Aiden's
a haircut.
thinking. Aiden, yeah, well, that's true. Boy, that's the oldest you've sounded in 10 weeks of workshopping and a pilot episode. The oldest you've sounded is that punk kid needs a haircut.
Yeah, cut that shit off.
I was excited because they introduced a character this past week that is Aiden, that is Carrie's boyfriend's ex-wife's boyfriend, and his name is Bob. And nobody gives a shit about Bob. And Bob shows up, pours himself a drink, and sits in the corner while the family does whatever they do. And I have never felt like there's a more relatable character in this show.
They should have saw you for that.
I could be Bob. I should be Bob. I want to be Bob. Bob needs a friend. Bob needs a friend in a future episode that just shows up, that doesn't do anything. Just shows up and sits with Bob in the corner.
Like a Virginia. You could be a Virginia bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like a farmer bro. Woof.
You like that?
I do. I could see it. I was flabbergasted by the fact that Charlotte and Harry, who live in a classic 6 on the Upper East Side, are sleeping in what looks like a full-size bed.
Yeah.
Not even a queen. They're in a full-size bed. What are they doing?
They are incredibly wealthy. They are phenomenally wealthy, and I don't know why they're sleeping in that bed. I'm a little bit worried that they're setting us up for Harry. Some Harry trauma. I'm worried that he has like prostate cancer or something.
Oh man, you're going dark. Really?
2 weeks ago, he peed himself at the club and was like, "Oopsie, I peed my pants."
Oh my God, you're right.
And then this week he couldn't get it up. Like, I don't know if those are just isolated incidents that never come to anything. What?
No, I think you're right. I see it.
Yeah, right.
I see it. We need a hashtag. Harry has prostate cancer. Oh no, is Harry gonna die?
Oh no.
No.
They can't just kill another husband.
They can't kill another husband. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that.
And we've lost Steve altogether. Like, that's a bummer.
Yeah, Steve is gone. Steve is gone. I did love when Shu jumped on on Miranda. That was my favorite part. Although I had 2 problems with that moment. That was my favorite part of the episode. But my 2 problems with it is no cat person has the cat tree in their bedroom, because no one would do that. And also we've already seen her kick Shu out of the bedroom to sleep and to have sex. So why would you get the cat a cat tree to make the cat's life better and then put it in the room that they can't go in all the time?
So 2 options. Either the writers are fully engaged here, and Carrie is a sociopathic narcissist, or they did it for the bit and they didn't think through any other moment of the whole show. They were like, it'll be funny. Wouldn't it be funny if the cat just jumped on her from the bedroom? Well, how do we need that? We need to put the tree in there, even though we've absolutely established that's what the problem. Like, and the bits. Look, if it's just a like. If we're just looking for hits, if it's stats, if we're looking for stats like on base and runs, the bits they are a firing. They got them. They got bits. It's just that they don't actually connect. It's like I said to Jen after this past episode, it's like the LaCroix of storytelling. It's like kind of there, right? Like it's like the parts are there, but if Harry has prostate cancer. I take all this back. They set me up to have my heart broken. Well done, writers. You're rivaling George R. R. Martin now, so I will tip my cap. If he doesn't, and these are isolated incidents that just become nothing, then I will only ever call it the LaCroix of storytelling.
All right. I think that's enough and just like that for today. Let's pray. Hashtag pray for Harry.
Hashtag pray for Harry. I'm worried about him now. I didn't mean to derail us with such a sad tone, but I'm worried about his.
That's okay. Why don't you lift us back up with some current events? What's been on your mind lately, man?
Let's see what can cheer things up from some potential prostate cancer. What about the new threats of attacks from sleeper cells now that we've bombed Iran?
Terrified.
So that's cool, right? And I think that my biggest fear within this, I mean, who knows where to start. That's quite a statement. I don't know that I have a biggest fear, but one of the fears floating around the top of the list is that there's like clear intelligence that there are sleeper cells that could activate, that we could be looking at domestic attacks, and we have in charge of the counterterrorism or section of Homeland Security a 22-year-old dude who's done nothing. Nothing. He interned at Heritage. He's been like he's a grocery store clerk. He mows yards. Like, he's 20.
He has pimples.
Yeah,
like you.
He's 22. I have the skin of a 22-year-old. All right, I'm keeping it.
You too could be anti-terrorist.
I'm way too overqualified. Of all the appointees that have gone on in this administration, I look, whatever. Like somehow we got used to like a racist, alcoholic, sexual predator in charge of the military. We got used to a brain worm who doesn't believe in medicine in charge of medicine. But this time we have a professional wrestler or head of professional wrestling in charge of education. This guy is like this takes the cake. In charge of protecting us from terrorism is, I guess the only thing is like he probably has the cleanest record of anyone in the administration. Like that's the plus. But look at his face. I don't think he's long for that. And I don't mean to like shame on looks, but the one picture that keeps floating around is a face he chose to make where it looks like he's about to argue the definition of date rape. I don't know if we have the ability yet to put up the picture. If we do, I'll flash it up right now. But if we don't, you'll have to look it up because I don't know if we have that tech yet.
You know who should be terrorist or counterterrorism is Wyatt.
Wyatt with no Adderall would be doing at least as good a job.
No, man, I hear you. It's scary. And like when we were prepping the episode, I was like, I don't want to talk about Iran in this episode. I'm still processing and trying to, as I think a lot of us are, I'm trying to make sense like what I think about it all, and I'm all over the map. Like we've been hearing my entire adult life that we don't want Iran to have bombs, that's a bad thing for us. So stopping that in any way has to be good, right? And even though I don't like Trump and I don't like this administration, I'm not gonna just automatically say everything they do is bad. If they do something good, I'll call balls and strikes. Yeah. But I don't love the idea that our Congress is so neutered, and Congress is supposed to be the ones that declare law. Declare war. We haven't done that since 1942. Trump is not the only president who has taken actions like this without congressional approval. So it's hard to be mad at that. I'm sort of over Netanyahu being a total genocidal maniac, and I just automatically want to be mad at anything he does, but I don't think Iran having nuclear bombs is a good thing for Israel. It's just I'm all over the place, and I'm with you, and I'm scared about what this could mean at home for us.
It's just like so hard to like how much I don't know, man. How much of the news can the human brain engage with right now, or like what's my capacity for engaging with the news? Because it's like crazy. Like this is like biblical shit. This is like the oldest fight in the history of the world,
dude. You
also
know this
with
is
the
like
newest villain in the history of the world. Like it's I don't know. It's
this
hard.
is like this is my hobby horse. This is one of the reasons I wanted to do the podcast. Like I have been so engaged with events in this world since the 2016 election. And I have, as I get older, I'm in my mid 40s now. I have been perplexed recently, especially since the last election, with how many people in my life are sort of disengaging from politics and current events. People I care about, people I love deeply, people with children I love deeply, family with children I love deeply. And it seems to be, but also like, rich gay friends who travel the world and go to parties and fuck people every weekend, who just are totally disengaged from politics because it makes them feel bad. And like, it makes me feel really bad too. It's hard to process it all. And recently I had a conversation with a family member who brought up the very valid point that human beings are not maybe meant to take in this much news. And up until very recently, we didn't have access to this much news.
It seems pretty inarguable. Like the technology is moving faster than our brains can, so we're getting a lot more than we're prepared to get. Yeah, for
sure. But then you have like the stats come out about the last election, and you have stats where overwhelmingly people who are engaged with the news voted for Harris, and people who don't pay attention to the news overwhelmingly voted for Trump. Yeah. And so we are not going to get on the right track as a country if people don't pay attention. And what perplexes me, and maybe you can help me understand as someone with kids, like as someone with kids, you are putting so much time and energy and love into raising them. And I'm assuming you're hoping for them to have a future and a bright future and a happy future. And so how can you, as a parent, totally divorce yourself from the news while you're spending day after day raising your child for slaughter? What are you raising your kid for? Like, it baffles me.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like in maybe defense or whatever, just as a from the parent side of it, like, because I can't speak to the mindset of your gay friends running around the country and having hot sex and not paying attention. I don't know about that, but I do know as a parent, like,
I can show you though.
I'm sure you have. Do we want to talk now about how we had to redo one of our test episodes because there was too much porn on your phone? I'm sure you could show me. As a parent and not a jet-setting homosexual, I do think that, like, finding extra bandwidth, and I think that this is like one of those age-old kind of misunderstandings or just disconnects between people with kids and people without kids, and it's just like not better or worse, not harder or easier, just it is different for me personally, and I think it happens for parents. Like, there's so much chaos in the here and now. My bandwidth is at its end, and so I have a hard time, like, because you're totally right, man. Like, we're raising kids to be in this world, and right now the world looks like it's gonna be fucking garbage for them. Like, luckily my kids are very young, but who knows, man? Like, I mean, are we gonna get, is there a draft coming? We're in New York, well, both of us are in the boroughs of New York City. Like, I said to my wife yesterday, let's not go into Manhattan anytime soon. Like, it's crazy to have kids right now, and at the same time, I don't even know when we finish this podcast tonight, I'm going to go upstairs and Jen and I are going to sit down and we're going to talk through tomorrow, basically hour by hour. And that is our nightly routine because I can see 12 hours ahead, and it's all I've got the bandwidth for, you know?
Wow.
So there's some part of it that's like, it's hard to even find time to, and you're not wrong. People should be more engaged. Even frankly, I know that you're so engaged. That's another reason I want to be here doing this, is because I learn from you every week. I can come spout off a couple things and like talk about what I'm mad about that I saw, but like, I don't know, man. I don't want to say like I can't. Maybe there's room to find more bandwidth and to work harder at being a citizen. There is just like a point of like, I don't know, man. Like,
I want to make a little plug for adults out there that are struggling because it hurts inside too much to follow the news. Like, you can hear me judging you in my voice. I'm judging you a little. Like, not you, like the adults out there. Like, I'm judging people a little bit. There is NPR puts out, Up First is a daily podcast in the morning. NPR every morning. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's like 5 topics from the news. and it's unbiased coverage. And then at the end of the day, NPR puts out the NPR Politics podcast. Again, 15, 20 minutes. If you listen to just those two podcasts every day, one at the beginning of the day, one at the end of the day, while you're taking a fucking shit, you will know what is going on in the world, and you will know what you need to think about for the sake of your kids that you're raising. So hopefully you're not raising them for slaughter. And that is my plea to my friends and my family out there that have decided that they don't need to pay attention to the world.
That's a great point, and that's a great plug to put in there. Also, let's kiss NPR's ass as much as we can, because let's just end up let's end up over there. That'd be lovely.
I don't think they're going to put No Homo on.
I don't know why
NPR.
why aren't they you should be writing ad campaigns for NPR. NPR, listen to us while you take a fucking shit. Like that's exactly right. That's and no, I mean that's the other thing too, and so it's hard to like stand on this I don't have the bandwidth platform for too long, because there's ways to get it. There's ways to get information, and it is important. And it's like, I think that a big part of I think one of the reasons we've ended up here is because I don't know exactly who they are and how specific the they gets, but I feel like engagement with the political system has been discouraged for the average person. Like the powers that be like it better when people aren't paying attention. And so it's kind of like, we, like our parent, like we're the first generation that wants to talk about politics. It used to be, don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. And now we've ended up in a place that fucked both of them.
It did used to be that, but it used to also be that everybody watched the news every night and everybody watched the same news. That is the big thing that's changed. And I don't mean to point my finger, but I do think
point your finger, man.
Here's the thing: like we're in our 40s, we're in our mid 40s, we're right in the middle. Like
I'm in my younger mid 40s, but sure.
we there is no one else that's gonna fix this. It's our turn to fix this shit.
Yeah. Are you? Did you come unplugged? Are you okay? Oh, just headphones? Oh, good.
Hold on, I lost I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna rip.
I'm not hearing you on the audio anymore.
Okay. Oh, do you want me to talk? No, it's not.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
36:30 to 37 to 38. Or we leave this in and we test our audience right away. We just see if you can stick with us for a minute and a half of technical difficulties.
Leave a little. I got so animated, I knocked my earphones out. Basically, is what happened. What were we even talking about?
Oh, where were we? Shit.
Harry has prostate cancer.
People watch the news every night. We're not doing that anymore. I don't know, man.
I don't know. You know what's this weekend? Should we move on?
I do know what's this weekend. I do know what's this weekend. But
Pride.
You tell us.
Pride, man. I'm so excited. It's New York. It's Pride Month. Obviously, it's June.
Yeah.
This weekend is Pride Weekend. It's a really fun, exciting weekend for me. And for you, you've been joining my partner Naquan and
I look forward to this. I look forward to this weekend for years now. I look forward to this. I love partying with you guys on Pride Weekend. And I mean, before we talk at all about me as a tourist on Pride Weekend, I think it's worth that. I would love to hear your thoughts on, like, what does pride mean to you? What is the point of pride? Why do you have to flaunt it? No, like, there's so much bullshit that gets said about pride, but why is pride important to you? And it is. So why is it important to you?
Yeah, it wasn't always. It's recently, like, the last 7 years of my life where I've really, it's meant more to me. I think that came from, I was so ashamed of being gay for so long, and I didn't come out till college, and then I didn't come out to family until right after college. And so it was like a process. And then even once I came out, I kind of like compartmentalized sex, and sex was something I did with random people that I met on like, AOL or the apps or at a bar. And maybe
because you're in your mid 40s and that's how you had to do things.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. And, I maybe went to the Pride Parade a couple times, but I never really like went to Pride parties. It wasn't something that like I was drawn to. And in the last couple of years, I've really like sort of have gone 180 in the other direction. And I love the community of Pride Weekend. I love the Pride parties. I love a good party, as you know, in general.
Sure.
And I love a good gay party. I love a good gay party with good music.
Sure.
And I love to Pride. It's just like it's like a community. Being in New York, being out, It's really a small community at the end of the day. And now every year I go to the Pride party, and it's just like seeing friends and connecting with people, and, having my hot straight friend with me. And I get to be your press agent. Everybody's like, the amount of questions I have to answer, like, is he really straight?
Yeah, because nobody believes that. Because I just end up shirtless with everyone, just dancing, just sweating and dancing throughout the night. Of course, nobody believes it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to jump.
Go.
Okay, because what a straight white guy thing to do, to jump in and take over this conversation before you're ready to be done.
I've been silenced. I have been silenced.
That's great. That was great. But now what I think about Pride. No, I'm so honestly, and not even to like blow smoke, I'm so honored, and I really am not kidding. I look forward to it every year, getting to hang out with you guys. It is so much fun. The energy is so, I don't know, it's like addictive. It's so magnetic. It's such a fun energy to be around. And I think that for like so much of my life, and I'm not gonna shit on like straight culture, so much of my life was sitting in a bar, like getting drunk, and plenty of fun, lots of fun to be had with the right friends. And sometimes it's just sitting and looking at a TV and watching sports and drinking a lot of beer, and it's just like there's fun to be had there. But then when you get to these especially like Pride parties, when there's so much energy going on, it's like active, it is moving the whole time, and it's fucking sexy. Like, the idea of like sexual preference and whatever, I think it like really this specific thing is what like for me kind of like brings home the title that we've always wanted to use for this, which is like, I'm not gay, and I don't need to convince anyone that I'm not gay, except for sometimes I have to make sure guys at these parties understand that I'm not gay. But like, whatever, they treat me the way that I used to treat women who tell me that they're not that kind of girl. Like, I mean, you kind of are. You have been before, like, but these guys are like, yeah, right, you're straight. Now I just say I'm in a monogamous relationship, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, got it. Like, they respect that. Because if I'm like, I'm married, they're like, me too. Do you want to hook up with my husband too? Like, so I have to be like, I'm in a monogamous relationship. But it's so much fun. The energy is so like the. I remember talking to Naquan, your fiance, at one point, one of these parties, one of the first years I had gone with you guys, and I was saying just this: that the energy is so great, and it's so different, because in like especially in a crowded club, if it's like mostly a straight crowd, like there's a feeling of danger. There's a potential fight. There's a fear in the air. There's kind of that other side of it exists in the air, and I just don't get that sense. It can be a packed out party. Like, I can worry sometimes at a Pride party or at any of these parties. I can worry logistically. Hi. Well, let's take a moment. And introduce our newest.
So I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You played the cat card. It's like that's like the conch. That's the Lord of the Flies. You speak.
She came over to say hi, so I thought I'd take the moment. This is Chips.
Hi,
everybody.
Chips, and whose sister is
Fish and Chips.
That's right, because
bro, your gain went up a little bit.
It went up.
Yeah, you're coming in super hot. I mean, this is the best you ever look, like super hot, but something happened.
Thanks. I don't know what.
That's better. That's better.
Okay, great.
I'm just throwing out my podcast skills, so people can see.
Yeah, when I said earlier that it's not a skill of yours, I was wrong. You've really honed it over the last 6 months. You've honed this podcast skill. You are locked in, and I really love it.
I'm sorry though, I interrupted you telling us about how you're not gay.
Right. I was saying to Naquan at one of these parties that how much better the energy feels at a big gay party than it does at a big straight party, because like there's a sense of danger, there's a sense of fear that like toxicity exists, and I don't know if everyone feels it, and maybe it's because I am tuned into that like frequency. Like, I feel it when I'm at a crowded event that's mostly straight people. I have that same feeling, and I don't feel that at gay parties. And Naquan was like, yeah, because that's still there. Like, you can still like bump someone too many times, and like you can still have a problem with someone, but when you add the layer of, or maybe we'll just fuck, it really changes the whole vibe.
It does.
Which is great. I think it's so much fun. And I might as well come out of the gate this first episode and say, like, it's how I know that I'm straight, because so much of this country is so worried about being like near a gay person, or like having their kids near a gay person because they're going to like catch it. Well, that tells me, bro, like, if you're so worried about meeting one gay person because you might end up with a dick in your mouth, like, you're probably gay. Like, you should think about that and sit with that and exist with that. I get hit on by hot dudes a lot, and very convincing dudes. You yourself have made numerous very good arguments for why...
Who, me? For years, for 17 years, I've been trying.
17 years, you have the best arguments. I mean, they are inarguable arguments, and the answer is just like, I don't want... That's not what I'm into.
You better get ready, because I got a bunch coming this weekend. I've been saving them up.
I fear the day that I don't get it. I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to know
there's like
a
little part. There's a little part of me that thinks this might be the weekend. You know, I have to. It's the only way to wake up in the morning. Like, that's how I go in every time. Like okay. This might be it. Like the fourth Pride together. This might be the moment.
That. Is it 4? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we came out of COVID. And,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and it's been no looking back. I mean, my wife has taken the kids away for the weekend. She's like, whatever, I'll go to my parents' house. You don't bother us. We won't bother you. Remember when? I mean, it's not the opening of this. The setup is not funny, but monkeypox. And frankly, shout out to the gay community for being like, oh, we have a disease that could be a problem. Let's fucking get this under wraps and figure it out. Like, that's a community who's dealt with this before and understands what the fuck to do. Not like the bunch of idiot straights that had whatever. Anyway, straights, take a lesson from the gay community on how to handle a pandemic.
Yeah.
But during the summer, the monkeypox is starting to like. I remember everyone being like, "Well, do we party? What do? We go? Do we just go get the shots?" And it was like, I'm gonna be the one. I'm gonna be the straight. I'm gonna have my kids there. I'm gonna go home from this party, realize that we have all been exposed. I'm gonna have to take my wife and kids to get in line.
Oh my God, the comments that are gonna come from this. All these women, blonde women with crosses. Do you know what? Blonde women who wear gold crosses on top of their clothes have become the scariest image to me.
Yeah.
That used to be when I was growing up. You know, I grew up Catholic. That was a wholesome, happy image that's turned into something horrific. Yeah. It's really crazy how symbols can turn. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I really killed the pride bubble with that. I'm sorry.
I want to go back to thinking about shirtless dudes and not blonde women.
Okay.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know, it's the press. What's her name? The press woman for the White House right now.
Yeah,
she really tipped me over with it. I don't even remember.
She's a nightmare.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but also like, you know, like it's not just brown women. I watched Sarah Huckabee Sanders on TV today, just still so far up Trump's ass, and she's brunette, you know, she's an alto.
Yeah. It's not just like, blonde women, and it's not all blonde women, obviously.
Not all blonde women,
and there are, I'm sure, very, very lovely women who wear crosses on top of their clothes. It's just become such a symbol of hate. It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, but it's like I think that this is great because you take it as like it's like taking ownership of like a pull your pants up kind of vibe, right? Like, well, if you're gonna look like that, I'm gonna be scared of you. Well, if you're gonna have blonde hair and wear your cross on the outside of your shirt, I'm gonna be scared of you. You have beliefs that someone might carjack you or pick your pocket. I have beliefs that you're gonna vote for killing all of us.
Exactly.
Oh
man.
Here's my question, though. This is what I was going to ask, and I had to check back in on the outline here. I need to know, going into this weekend, what's the gay scene like right now, and what kind of... It's been a year. I'm different than I was a year ago. What kind of gay should I think of myself? Like, what's my brand going in, and what's going to be happening at this party? In whatever order you want to answer any of that.
Yeah. Your brand. I mean, I've seen you in so many looks, so many looks over time, so I really won't know till your shirt comes off.
Okay.
So I'll have to weigh in on that on Saturday, unless you want to give us a preview.
It's a definite.
That's no pressure.
I feel like I gotta get that. Like, we can't lose it all. I'm more than happy to roll the
not on the first episode.
I don't think out of the gate.
Listen. You have a bear vibe. You have like muscle bear vibe. You definitely have daddy vibe. Like, you definitely bring all that to the table.
Is it like a top, like a bear top, right? Or a dad top, or I don't know. I feel like I'd be a top. That's not like I don't want things on my butt. That's not the thing at all. I just feel like I'd be a top.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I kind of think you'd be a power bottom, to be honest.
I don't know what that is. What is a power bottom?
A power bottom. Yeah, it's It's a term in the gay lexicon.
Sure.
It's like sort of like a top a bottom who's in charge. The receiving end of the partnership physically, but you're sort of in the act, being the aggressor, pointing out, calling out the moves, maybe getting on top. It also can sometimes have a connotation that a power bottom is someone who can like sort of really take it really hard.
Okay.
I definitely think that you fit that bill. I just have a feeling. I have a
Yeah, I mean,
feeling you
like,
could fucking take it, man.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I feel like in whatever context we need to. Yeah, I'm pretty tough.
And you always like to be challenged and like to prove. Like I think you'd have something to prove, and I think that's why you'd be a really good power bottom.
That's Tom's TED talk for why I should be a power bottom.
That's it.
Great. Now I will go into this weekend.
And you can be with your wife too. It doesn't have to just be a gay thing.
For sure. I'm not saying anything one way or the other, but I did want to make it clear that me thinking of myself as a top is not me thinking I don't want anything up my butt. It's just I feel like I have top energy, but power bottom sounds like that kind of there's some similar energy. There's some crossover in that energy. It
does. It made me think. I just saw something on Instagram, so I can't believe I'm even going to say this out loud. This is not real news. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I have no idea. But
what are you doing? We tried so hard to get credibility in the middle of this.
I'm calling it out. I'm not credible on this.
Great.
But there was a post I read that said there was a country. I want to say it was Turkey, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about any of it. But something about how this particular country allows gays in the military, but only if they're tops. Which was amazing. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if any of that's true or what country it is, and I'm just going to leave that for our audience to find out.
Yeah, we don't have lawyers yet, but eventually we might need lawyers. We need to do one of those things where we just say the opinions on this show are not anything but two dummies talking. I don't think that's the legal jargon, but we might need to throw something in there that says that. But there might be a country out there that lets you be in the military and gay as long as you're a top.
So unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to fight for them. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh man, that's what keeps me out of the military is being a power bottom.
That's it.
All right.
That's it. All right, now it's time for our closing segment.
Okay.
Who would you fight? Who would you fight? Pow pow.
Yes, it made it.
You're
reading the log line, and you got to get one. That was your jingle that you crafted. And of all the things that we've workshopped, that has not changed. It has stayed pure. It has stayed the same. And I'm so happy it made it to the first episode. From now on, we'll do it as a duet. But
I have a knack for melody. What can I say?
It's true. It's true. You got your ads and your jingles, man. You got it. Like, can you, before we get into Who Would You Fight, can you do a jingle for NPR, Listen to Us while you take a fucking shit?
On the spot? Wow. Is
that too much?
NPR, listen to us while you shit. Was that okay?
No notes. That was it.
Okay. Who would you fight?
Who would you fight? This I feel like like this as a little bit of a background. This segment came up when we were going through. We did some versions of the podcast in our workshopping that we felt like, and anyone who listened to it, our test audience was like, "You guys sound really angry." There's some anger. It exists.
Obviously.
That's true. Yeah. I think at this point, people probably picked up on that. But so we decided, all right, the whole thing's not going to be. We don't want to come away from this feeling bad after an episode. We want to feel good. So we can vent about things. We can be angry at others. We can whatever. We can. But it's still enough anger, and it's still okay to be angry. And we are going to take time every week for just a moment to talk about a person or persons that we would fight.
Yes. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first if that's okay. May I have the floor? And may I have the cat? All right. What if I had a cat? What if I brought a cat out right now? Okay. I would fight anyone who leaves a voicemail and starts it with, "Hey, it's me." If they know your voice, you don't have to waste time saying it's me. Either say your name or just start the message. You're wasting that introduction time by saying, "Hey, it's me." It's vain. It's so narcissistic to take time to say more words just to remind someone they know the sound of your voice. I think it's rude and a time waste. Even for 3 seconds, I think it's a time waste, and I want to fight everyone who says, "Hey, it's me."
Yeah. Did someone recently do this to you that caused this to bubble up?
No, maybe. Actually, no. I don't know. I don't remember. I got to go figure out what tomorrow looks like for the next 12 hours. I have no idea what's happened before in my life. Yes, clearly at some point in my past, people said that. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I do it sometimes. And I was like, why the fuck did I just do that? Like, why would I say, hey, it's me?
Dude, I'm the one who still, I say my phone number and then I do it again. I do like a twice phone number, but it's like on the person's phone. Like, I don't know why I still do that.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm not only doing it once; I'm doing it twice.
If you know, I guess if you know for a fact it's a cell phone that you're calling, but like in the in the business world, we both have jobs. Sometimes I don't know if I'm calling a desk. I might be like, you got to say your name and your phone number. You got to say it twice. That's the thing that you do. Do you say when you say a phone number, the last 4 digits of a phone number? Do you say as individual numbers, or would you say like 2259, or would you say 2259?
Individual.
Yeah, because that's the right way to do it.
Yeah.
My Jen always
save that for
up.
another fight. Fight those people.
Yeah, you're
next
right.
week.
I'm mad at everyone on phones.
You're mad at
my phone etiquette's really coming out right now. All
Mine's
right.
connected to phones too.
Ooh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah. I want to fight people on like Instagram, or I guess maybe they do this on TikTok too. I don't know about TikTok. Have you ever seen like people like they play music and they're standing there? They're usually like in their underwear, and then they maybe like hold up a pair of socks, and then and then it cuts and the socks are on, and then it cuts and they're holding up shorts and it's like
yeah for
and
sure.
then maybe they like have 2 pairs of shoes and they like throw them up and they jump and then they're in.
Sure.
What is this? What is this? Where did it come from?
It's people hawking their wares, man. I mean, you're not wrong. It's obnoxious. I've definitely got a few of those out there in my time, and you're right. It's obnoxious.
I knew it. I had a feeling maybe you had some.
I used to have some clothing sponsors that that would pay me for those kinds of things, and I don't really have those anymore.
Listen. I have to come clean. I follow a lot of hot dudes on Instagram, and there's many that I follow that do this. There's one guy that like sort of exclusively does this, and I'm the one that keeps following him, and the algorithm keeps giving them to me, and so I'm watching them, and I watch them all the way through. But what am I watching? Why? Like, I guess maybe it was cute the first time. So all right, here's my. I mean,
that should be Instagram. That should be Meta's. Speaking of jingles and ads, like you're not going to out of the park tonight. It should be Meta. It used to be cute at one point.
Yeah,
like that's Meta.
My conjecture is that whenever they first developed like software or apps where you could edit your little videos on your phone, and that was like a big game changer for all you content people, like someone brilliant somewhere came up with the idea to do this, and it spread like wild. Like my problem is not with the first person that did it. My problem is with the grown adult in their 50s who's doing it once a week.
Yes.
10 years later, what is going on?
Well, you can also have a problem then with the consumer that is still letting that work.
Exactly, because you know what? That guy has way more followers than I do. Not that that's what it's about. Not that that's what it's about. But I do have to, bow down to they're giving the people what they want. It's obviously working.
Yeah, and I mean, you can. Yeah, I think that you're exactly right. I think that it was like people. Clothing lines want to. They want people to show off their clothes. They want to do those kind of things. It takes way too much time to put on a whole outfit, and I think that you are living, walking, breathing proof that people are not going to stick around for long videos. I, as someone who might talk for 5 minutes on Instagram, don't get you to watch a single one of my videos that do that. So
true.
Swipe right past while you're taking a fucking shit. Swipe right past my videos if they're too long. And
you made it sound like it was in Brigadoon or something.
While you're taking.
Mine was more poppy.
I know. Well, yeah, that's why I don't do the jingles.
Yours was Lerner and Low. No.
I don't look, man. We're so much for gassing each other up, man. You could have just let it slide. I wasn't trying to be the jingle guy. You're the jingle guy.
All right. I think on that note, I think we've made people listen long enough. This is a good first episode.
We did it, man. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
Thank you, anyone who paid attention for this long. Should we do the official readout? I think for the first episode, at least, for sure, we should do the official readout the official way. If it gets recorded and just played from now on, that can be fine. But I think we need one, and I think you should do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe to No Homo with Jonathan and Tom on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Special thanks to Matt Ladner, Jen Dorenbosch, Stina Hamlin, and Naquan Williams.
You nailed it.
See you next week, bro.
And cut. All right, man. I love you.
Love you too.
No homo.